this is an exciting day for me. You know, I made a great movie. You know, I set out to make a crazy movie, and here I am. I'm getting a lot of attention for it, and it's exciting. From day one, when we started writing it, said we wanted to win a Raspberry Award. So I'm glad my dream has come true.
I'm underwater. Look, I found a treasure. Get out of my goddamn scuba gear, you imbecile!
Whether it's Nathan Fielder flying a Boeing airplane or whatever Smile and Friends is, there will always be a niche for weird, absurdist humor. If you told the average HBO viewer in peak Game of Thrones era they would unironically make a show called The Chair Company, what would you even say to that? Today I wanted to look at a specific example of a project made before this time. Before Adult Swim. Before Eric Andre. Before SML, where one man was given $14 million to make a theatrically released shitpost, now engraved in history as one of the worst movies of all time. And that movie was Lord of the Rings. No, I'm fucking with you. It's the fingering movie. Freddy Got Fingered is the brainchild of Tom Green, who got big through his MTV show and the odd stunts he would do. Humping a dead moose, painting naked women onto his dad's car and driving it to the bus station, showing graphic footage of his own surgery, serenading Pierce Brosnan, doing the Godfather scene on his parents. This man had a thing for animals. And his parents, what did they do to him? He got big through movies like Charlie's Angels and Road Trip, directed by Todd Phillips, and when that movie was a hit, Fox gave him $14 million to make whatever he wanted. And I mean whatever he wanted. Normally, this is encouraging. An artist given creative freedom can lead to some really cool projects, but not Tom Green. You see, he had a plan. By all accounts, this movie was made to be intentionally bad, or at the very least a satire of everything Hollywood comedy stood for. They were doing an anti-comedy, which was Tom Green's entire shtick. You don't suck a cow's udder and expect everyone to be on board with your humor. They knew what they were doing, and it wouldn't pay off. It bombed really bad, critics and audiences hated it. It was so bad that when the movie won Razzies for Worst Movie, Director, and Actor, Tom Green became the first actor to ever accept their Razzie in person, but second director next to the guy who did Showgirls. And honestly, that's pretty funny. Similar to Showgirls, a lot of people today may see Freddy Got Fingered in a different light. With modern humor being so different and accepting of the weird when done right, one can argue that Freddy Got Fingered is a precursor to that comedy scene. Eric Andre himself said his show wouldn't exist without Tom Green. So what's up with this movie? Is it a case of wrong place, wrong time? Did people not get it? Was it too unique for the Hollywood landscape? Is it a piece of shit? Most likely. We open on some pretty bad animation. They're just recording pages and swapping them by hand. You can literally see it in the frame. Half star, this movie stinks. This is Gord, an aspiring animator moving to the big city to find a job. And his ideas are interesting to say the least. Bad, I'm saying they're bad.
The beaver started yelling at another beaver. The beaver started yelling at the other beaver. He said, "You're stupid beaver."
What is this, amateur hour? The clear joke is having the beaver say, "You beaver believe it." You beaver believe? Imagine going to the theater to see a completely random movie in 2001 and getting this dramatic reveal for this title. Like, yeah, what else would it be called? Gord? Who'd see Gord? Gord's moving to LA to become an animator, like Charles Schultz, a comic artist. That's like saying a musician is a poet in the literal sense. They're two very different art forms. He says goodbye to his parents, one of whom I thought was Jack Nicholson, but it's just a guy from Senseless.
Mr. Tyson, are you dipping in the chocolate?
He's very disinterested in Gord's hobby, calling his cartoon drawing stupid, but also trusting him enough that he bought a whole convertible for him on the belief he'll make him proud. The 2002 economy must have been crazy. My dad would tase his nuts before doing that. Gord promises to make his dad proud. He says it a lot, actually.
I'm gonna make you proud, Daddy. I'm gonna make you so proud.
Make your daddy proud.
You're gonna be so proud.
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 This is Freddy, by the way, the titular character, Gord's brother, Freddy, the one and only Fred.
But how come Gord gets a LeBaron and I don't?
It's because they love me more than they love you.
No, they don't.
Gord's on the road and immediately goes after the first cock he sees, like the average college student.
Oh, this is fun. Look at me, Daddy. I'm a farmer.
He jerks off a horse, which is about as funny as it sounds, but I think the issue is that it kind of comes out of nowhere. The humor starts off odd, but nothing too vulgar or crass. The main thing Green was known for as the hump the dead moose guy. I almost respected the restraint and focus on absurdism. Like the movie is aware at how cliche it sounds and leans into it.
Mom, I'm a 28-year-old man. I'm a 28-year-old man.
It's not laugh out loud funny, but it's something that modern projects have done to great effect, like I Think You Should Leave, where the jokes themselves are rather mundane, but are just off enough they wrap back around to being funny.
Give me that.
What?
Give me that.
Then Tom Green jerks off an uncensored horse cock, and he's not even provoked into doing it, he just does it. Gordon arrives in LA and draws something in the distance. What was he looking at? Is there something we missed all these years? Before going to his day job at a cheese factory, where we get a joke that almost could have worked, where he just gets on the conveyor belt and starts swinging a sausage around, but this is the only scene where he actually works at the factory. Imagine a montage of Gord getting into LA shenanigans and failing to be an animator while cutting back to how boring the cheese job is, and then he just snaps and starts waggling a sausage in people's faces. That'd be pretty funny, I think. Look, that woman got hit by it. You gotta protect your actors, Tom. Gord heads to the animation studio and uses some hitman tactics to sneak in, as in he ignores stealth and just barges in like a crazy person. He runs past security, lies to an assistant about the CEO's wife being dead, then tries to hit on her while she's grieving, and also lies about being a cop, which is like, come on.
I thought we could grieve together over the dead Linda, over the dead woman, over the woman.
You're a skinny loser! Someone call security!
Don't call them.
Shit!
The CEO's eating at a restaurant, and Gord decides to dress up as a British cop, harass the patrons, then talk about how he should totally give him a job, man. And for some reason, this guy is dressed the exact same way as the CEO. I don't really get that.
Listen, you tell Hanna-Barbera to go fuck themselves, okay? I got 12 Koreans.
The CEO doesn't go, "Who the hell are you? Get away from me, you poor person." And he actually hears Gord's pitch out and gives him sound advice, which he takes very well.
I wish I was dead. Oh!
Side note, his pitch absolutely sucks. He's showing unrelated drawings and describing the ideas in his head. He doesn't even have a log line.
See through the door, see the criminal, and save the day. He saves the day.
Like a vigilante.
Like a vigilante.
Right,
like
right,
a vigilante.
right,
He's like a
right.
vigilante. Cat.
The CEO tells Gord to, quote, "get inside the animals," and you can guess where this is going. I will say, this scene did get a laugh out of me, but I think it'd be much funnier if the horse scene didn't come right before it. I know I'm thinking a lot about the horse scene, but like, hear me out on this. This one has a setup instead of coming out of nowhere, and there's an actual joke to it. I know I sound like this guy, but this is funny, especially his reaction to getting hit by a car.
I wasn't expecting that to happen.
Nah, they acted like nothing happened. Gord returns home where we get to the real meat of the story, his relations to his family. A common complaint I hear is that the cartoon stuff is dropped early on and doesn't do much for the story, but honestly, I disagree. The idea is Gord finding inspiration for his work through his life, how his family ultimately leads to the winning idea that gets him a series. It's not groundbreaking, but it doesn't come out of nowhere. It's loosely connected bits expanded into a movie, and sometimes that's all you want. There's this scene I really like where Gord gets home and his parents are having dinner. Instead of having the meal itself, he has like this chicken sandwich he bought at a fast food place, and his dad gets so pissed off about it.
Mike Fitzgibbon's son is a nuclear physicist, and my son can't eat it.
Sorry, Bergman, maybe another time. I want to watch Tom. That night, Gord works on a skateboard rig very loudly, and his dad realizes what movie he's in. Gord's best friend does some skating and breaks his leg, and everyone's yelling and screaming, and Gord licks his wound for some reason.
I gotta work in the morning, get the hell on.
And if you're not that interested in Gord being upset with his dad, don't worry. This is the central conflict of the movie. What can I say? Every writer gets at least one movie to reckon with their fodder. This came out the same year as Zoolander. You're gonna have to hear me out on this. Gord goes to the hospital and talks to a receptionist named Betty, a doctor by day, an amateur rocket scientist also by day. I'm not sure where she finds time for that.
Hospital's always this fun?
No, sometimes people here die of cancer.
I will say the chemistry between these two is very sweet. I thought the actress playing Betty was Drew Barrymore because they were dating at the time, and maybe that's why the chemistry was good, which made the reveal that Betty's in a wheelchair really fucking funny. But she was actually the assistant from earlier. You know, the one Gord tried to coerce with the dead wife.
A woman is dead. Linda is dead.
Gord talks to his friend about how much he loves handicapped girls before pissing off a pregnant woman so much she goes into labor, as you do. Gord then pretends to be a doctor and help the lady give birth, all while the other patients sing and play tambourine. And this feels like the birth scene from American Horror Story, but somehow more terrifying. You think Ryan Murphy has this in his 4 favorites? The joke's a little too much for me. Like, Gord helps this woman against her will, and she clearly doesn't want this to happen. He yanks the baby out like it's Mortal Kombat. He swings it around the room and gets blood everywhere. He bites the umbilical cord. I think Tom Green is going to hell. I can't show any of it because who would want to? But I do like how it becomes a sincere moment at the end about how beautiful the baby is, and Gord gets kicked out by the guy from Anora. No. Gord and Betty meet at her place and they talk about whatever. Gord calls her a dumb idiot for not getting rocket science on the first go.
No, I mean, you tried to make the rocket wheelchair work, but it doesn't work. That must make you feel like a stupid dummy, right?
Betty wants to fuck a rocket and then has Gord smack her legs with a stick for sexual arousal.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, come on. I want to see that, please.
Me personally, I would have had Gord get pegged by a rocket sex toy at full blast, but you know, it's the first date. They're taking it slow. I get that. He hits her in the face where she actually feels it, and then she decides to give him a blowjob, which even Gord finds a bit weird.
Betty, it's only our first date. Don't you think we should go do some romantic stuff first? Like maybe take a walk in the park or something like that?
I can't walk.
We then learn that Gord keeps his umbilical cord taped to his stomach. This never comes back. Speaking of back at home, Freddy comes to the house for breakfast, and it looks incredibly similar to Mike's house from Stranger Things, which sounds like a joke, but look at the basement. I'm pretty sure this is the exact same house. This is the real key to conformity game. His dad tries to get him out of the shower and messes with the temperature, and this is framed and built up like the reveal of a dead body in a Scorsese movie, but he's just scuba diving in the shower. I think this is what it was like to live with Team 10. Gord tries to work on his drawings because, you know, that was his initial goal, and shows my process for making new videos after Yogi Bear. Nothing. He gets nothing done.
I can walk backwards fast as you can. I can walk backwards fast as you can.
I like this moment of body acting when his dad comes in. It's pretty clever.
Dad, what? God, name are you doing, you stupid little man?
Gord wants to go on an actual date with Betty instead of having sex all the time, which is a fun reversal on the usual trope of the guy wanting all the sex.
And I just think that if we went out on at least one date, and you didn't do any sucking right now, that'd make the whole sucking to date ratio far more balanced, you know?
Maybe he's feeling it from the rocket and wants to have a feast to see how cleanly his shit falls out of his stretched out asshole. On his dad's bed, they head to this fancy place where this kid's having a birthday party for some reason.
Of course you can have a piece of cake. It's your birthday.
Yay!
Yay!
And they have a good time until Gord lies about having a job as a stock investor, which I don't know about you, that sounds like a bad job to lie about.
You're fired! You're fucking fired, Bob! You're fucking fired!
Why would she even care if she's an animator? He doesn't even know his dad's there. Gord lied about getting a job, by the way. I forgot to mention that part. I was too busy talking about backwards, man. His dad finds him because he's yelling like a maniac, and they start fighting like it's the Psycho Dad video. What are they even trying to accomplish? The cops arrest them, and I feel like they couldn't afford a jail set because they immediately cut to the next day when Betty bails Gord out. For some reason, I would have gotten away after last night. That's my personal opinion. Betty tells Gord to relax and, as per usual, takes the advice very literally.
I can't think of anything to draw because I'm so stupid.
I like how the dad immediately clocks what the contraption is like.
He's rigged a pulley system so he can eat sausage and work on his stupid drawing.
This looks like a saw trap. How did you figure that out?
Daddy, would you like some sausage? Daddy, would you like some sausages? Daddy, would you like some...
His dad destroys the skateboard ramp like a true monster, and like, I feel like a joke was missing. They set up this nail sticking out earlier, and they didn't really pay it off. It's not like his friends hit it when he broke his leg, and if he did, they didn't really show it visually. I thought the kid was gonna eat shit on the nail, but no, they just didn't do it. The family goes to therapy. Gord is framed next to Sigmund Freud like that one Superman movie. I don't know why, but Sigmund Freud in a therapist's office is so funny to me. Like, isn't this the guy who made the Oedipus complex? What does this mean for the movie?
We can live like kings! We can live like kings!
His dad calls him an embarrassment and failure, which, like, yeah, he kind of is. And Gord proceeds to say something in retaliation that changes the movie forever.
Well, at least I don't touch Freddy.
Hey, what?
Excuse me?
Yeah, he touches my little brother. He
he fingers him.
We're halfway through, and we finally get context for the title. I'm not even mad. What else could this movie be called? This is the perfect title. They could have called it Inside the Animals, Chicken Sandwich, Child Gets Hurt. But no, they chose the title that is literally a lie.
He's a molester. He's a child molester.
Freddy watches Tom Green's surgery on television as people come to take him away for mental help. He might have not been fingered, but he probably needs help in some capacity. Why is he watching this? Gord, meanwhile, is back to drawing, falsely accusing his dad of being a inspired him like a rapper pretending to grow up poor.
Throw me a zesty beat.
His dad comes in weirdly upset with him and starts smacking his bare ass, which I feel like he shouldn't be doing because someone can walk in and do a Usual Suspects reference. See? Gord then gives up his drawings. Why does he care what his father thinks anymore? He just accused him of fingering his brother. He clearly hates his ass. Why is he giving up? Oh, he's getting a job at a fast food place. Bitch, he's gonna kill you if you stay in the house any longer. You're the reason his life is falling apart. Whatever, he breaks up with his girlfriend and treats her rocket wheelchair like shit.
Can't you see we're both just a couple of stupid idiots?
Gord,
Gordy!
Betty's movie is so crazy to me. Like, she's basically doing that First Man biopic with Ryan Gosling, only instead of going to the moon, her chair goes vroom vroom. Cut to Freddy at the what?
you got fingered?
No. Okay?
It's okay. I know.
Did you guys see that? Freddy huffs some salad and gives a customer all the cheese like that one TikTok guy. All he's missing is to deep fry it for no reason. His mom leaves the house as the dad slowly morphs into the amalgamation of Joe Pesci and Leonardo DiCaprio. One battle DiCaprio specifically. That's more of a compliment if anything. Wow. I chihuahua.
And I never fingered Freddy!
Betty's rocket works and it inspires Gord to go back into animation. What was the point of any of that? Maybe Noelle Fisher wanted a cameo, I don't know. Look, it's Michelangelo.
Oh, she's so hot I can feel my shell tightening. What the fuck were they thinking?
Gord returns to the animation studio and does a cool little table jump to pitch his final idea. A family of centaur zebras in America, which sounds like the actors are making it up as they go along.
Half man, half zebra mutant. He's a myth. The myth. It's a myth. It's like a Greek myth. Sure. It's like a Greek myth.
Can't believe we're getting live footage of Vizzy Pop pitching Hasman Hotel. The dad pulls up and trashes the CEO's office and he's taken away by security instead of Gord, who's broken in twice. What is this world? The CEO thinks it's all an elaborate bit and decides to greenlight the show, where we get this weird animated segment that's basically the plot to Marvin Marvin.
What's Marvin's favorite food? Oh, that's easy. It's chocolate. Sorry, the correct answer is Ohio.
I don't like this, mainly because of how violent it gets. The dad zebra pulls out the son's jaw and skids his teeth against the pavement as he ties him to a car. I get the joke that it's a shitty cartoon, but realistically, this wouldn't be aired on national television. Maybe if the joke was like this was a pitch to executives and they threw Tom Green out a window for how bad it was, that could work. But it doesn't tie into anything. It's just a cutaway gag. Also, the voice of the character is so goddamn annoying.
Hear the funny sound? I hear the funny sound. It's my hooves.
Gord uses the money to overact at the bank and brag about his money, and he rents a helicopter to get back with Betty and admit he was wrong for calling her rocket chair stupid.
I don't care about Jules. I just wanna suck your cock.
And they say romance is dead. But Gord's not done. No. He's got a plan to prank his old man. He breaks into his dad's house, dresses up like a special forces officer, and darts him to sleep. This shit is shot like a horror movie. He cuts the power and waits for his dad to be scared of who is in the room before he darts him. And then he wakes up a week later to realize he's in Pakistan, which Gord flew to house to for no reason other than his dad mentioned it earlier when talking shit about him as part of his daily routine.
If this were Pakistan, you would have been sewing soccer balls when you were 4 years old.
Then Gord drives through a village and causes a big ruckus. He throws his dad into a tent. He does this Charlie Chaplin-ass stunt work because I guess Tom Green watches real movies.
Ow.
And then they chase each other in the desert. What the fuck is going on? Then my misspelling of relevant comes in handy when Gord comes across an elephant and jerks it off, spraying his dad in elephant jizz. $14 million? For a split second, Gord realizes the horrid act he's doing to a guy whose worst thing he did was think a job in animation was unreliable, on top of all the abuse. He's already proven him wrong. There's no reason to be doing all this. Buy a house in LA. You might need that to work on your show. He just wasted his entire check. He blew it all on Pakistan. What did Tom Green's real dad do to him? Oh, he didn't like the decapitated horse head in his bed. What a piece of shit. Hollywood makes monsters out of deranged sociopaths. The two men have a heart-to-heart that's fine if you don't take it seriously. There's a line I kinda like where Gord says he respected his father for always doing things his way and that inspired him to do things his own way.
I'll never be the man you want me to be, but I'm your son. I want you to be proud.
It's a very touching idea about parents inspiring their kids that would be even better if the movie did anything to make that land. What if there was a version where Gord fails the pitch because he doesn't know how to bring a unique voice to it, and through spending time with his family, maybe he gets a job at his father's workplace and the hijinks that come from that. We see how his dad does work in a very weird way, but not too dissimilar from how Gord wants to work. I know this is too much thought to put into Freddy Got Fingered, but I like potential when I see it. Whatever magic Tom Green used to pitch this movie and get $14 million out of it must have worked on someone. The two get captured by villagers and held captive for months, but it doesn't really matter. The movie's basically over and they get sent back after a period of time. Maybe they had a plan to tie everything together in an insane climax, but they ran out of money. I don't know how that could have happened. My interpretation is that they were all too scared to get sprayed in elephant jizz. Also, they imply Zebras in America already came out, even though Gord was a little bit occupied at the time.
The creator of a popular television show has been captured by villagers in Pakistan.
To be fair, Gord does not seem like the kind of guy to respect animators. Gord and his dad return home and the people cheer for them, except this one guy who wants to be trapped in limbo when the credits roll. This shot happens and I love how clearly unplanned it was. Freddy didn't shave the entire time he was at the Institute. That's pretty funny. And then the kid gets mauled by an airplane. I'm okay! Shaquille O'Neal is also there. He just wants a loving relationship with Gord's mom. And that was Freddy Got Fingered. It ruined the hot streak of Tom Green's career, was one of the most maligned movies of its time, and eventually led to Nostalgia Critic doing a shitty No Country for Old Men parody.
By the way, I totally killed her.
So what does innocent little me think of the film? Is it as bad as everyone claims it to be? Has it aged just as poorly as many other American comedies that appeal to the lowest common denominator? I thought it was okay. In a time where we're able to see equally, if not more, bizarre forms of comedy from our phones, I can appreciate how far they take the jokes here. It's reveling in its own stupidity, to the point it kind of wraps back around to being funny. A solid amount of it, I'd say, has aged pretty well in a post-Adult Swim world. It's infamous for its more cruder scenes, which apparently cause most moviegoers to walk out, and you know, fair enough. Those feel like Tom actively trolling the audience in a more overt manner. I don't blame people for not wanting to watch what they were watching, you know what I'm saying? He probably thought since he was the MTV guy, he had to have some nasty stuff sprinkled in there for his demographic, but it ended up as a detriment that led to the film's failure. And I won't act like the movie's some hidden gem just because it went places most studio comedies wouldn't dare to. It kind of fails at being a movie. The story is very thin and lacks cohesion to bring it all together, which makes the ending where it actually tries to say something feel anticlimactic and unearned. I'm not saying every comedy needs 10 minutes of mid-tier drama to flesh out the characters. I'm saying the jokes need to be in service of the movie's themes. If there are any. Comedy's very loose like that. You can do whatever. Take Step Brothers, for example. I don't like Step Brothers, but the jokes in that movie are born from the same idea. The brothers are some of the most obnoxious people to ever live, and when that movie works, the best jokes execute that to great effect. Freddy Got Fingered prioritized satirizing the comedy movies of the time, pushing their tropes to maximum chaos and absurdism over determining how all those elements came together, which you can tell by the number of deleted scenes the movie has, including multiple extended sequences at the cheese sandwich factory. I bet these were fun to do, but can you tell me, with a gun to your head, how any of this ties into the primary relationship of Gord and his dad? If we didn't need these scenes, maybe the script should have been tighter. That's just my opinion. But I would rather have whatever this is than other 2000s comedies that always have those moments where you tug at your collar because of how poorly they aged. I just appreciate this movie was made at all. Tom Green had a choice between keeping up the momentum his show and movie made for him, or make something that stayed true to his identity. And by all accounts, he chose to make this movie over all of that. He chose to make his dreams come true, even if it meant losing everything he had going for him. Even if other comedians have spearheaded their own movies since then, there hasn't been anything quite like Freddy Got Fingered. It is one-of-a-kind anarchy, and I think we're at a point now where we don't have to love it, but we can still appreciate it for what it is. Not just as a movie that shocked audiences, but as a movie that dared to shock. 6 out of 10.